I don't do something halfway. I either do it completely or I don't do it at all. So really, that was my driving force, was wanting to not just be a sub, but to be the best sub that I can be for my partner. Welcome to Dom Sub Living, where you'll learn how to break free from the vanilla rut, unlock your true potential as a dominant or submissive, and finally make BDSM a lifestyle. I'm your kinky guide, Alesandra. Today, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about my personal story, where I'm going to make this one a little more personal, and I'm going to be talking about why I quit my vanilla relationship in life and became a full-time submissive. But before we begin, if you're interested in how to live this lifestyle as a dom or a sub, I have a free guide you can grab at domsubliving.com/guide. In it, we cover the 9 keys you need to have an amazing BDSM lifestyle. We break it all down. So again, that's at domsubliving.com/guide. So again, in this episode, I really wanted to tell you a little bit about why I became a full-time sub and also why I became a BDSM instructor and DS relationship coach. Like, what was my reason behind this? What was my driving force behind this? Because I get asked this question a lot, like, what was my thinking behind all this? Because a lot of people get into BDSM for a lot of different reasons. And none of these are wrong, but a lot of people, and I see this a lot in my students, sometimes it's something as simple as they watched 50 Shades of Grey and now they're wanting kinky sex. Or maybe I've heard of sometimes like this myth of people wanting to become submissives because they just don't want to think for themselves anymore. They want someone to tell them what to do. Or people may start BDSM and specifically dom-sub relationships because they want to improve their current relationship. And again, there's nothing wrong with any of those reasons. I always say it doesn't matter why you started, it matters why you keep going. But for me, deeper down, why I got started, it was because I really wanted to be the best version of myself. And I knew being a submissive is extremely hard. It's extremely rewarding. I was already a wife. I was already a parent to 2 children, but I wanted this bigger challenge to be the best version of myself. If you're into personality tests, I'm an Enneagram 1, which means I am a perfectionist. I'm also have the advocate personality, so I really tend to go overboard in believing in a cause and feeling strongly about something. And so this really started to play into my desire to be a submissive. You know, we were doing kinky things, but when I got introduced to BDSM and dom-sub dynamics, I really wanted to go all in. And that's just my personality type. Like, ever since even when I was in school, like any subject I did, like I had to do it good if I was interested in it. I don't do something halfway. I either do it completely or I don't do it at all. So really, that was my driving force, was wanting to not just be a sub, but to be the best sub that I can be for my partner. And then also wanting to share this lifestyle with others, wanting to be an advocate for others, wanting to serve my dominant to the best of my ability and be the best submissive I can be for him. So my big why is that I needed to prove to myself that I can do something incredibly hard and not give up on myself in the process, to not call it quits and say that this is too hard. Because, I mean, let's be real, being in a DS relationship is hard. I would say even more so than a vanilla relationship. There is a ton more communication. There is multiple layers going on. It's just extremely involving. Even if you're just doing it in the bedroom, there's, like I said, so many layers. You're doing scenes with beginning, middles, and ends, and you're doing aftercare, and you're making sure your limits are respected. So there's just so many layers. And the reality was too, I was feeling like my vanilla identity and everything that comes with it, I felt like it was holding me back. That just being a mom, just being a wife, that I wanted more. I didn't want those just to be my titles, like I said, my identity. I really wanted to be the best version of myself. And for me, that meant being a submissive and being a full-time submissive, not to knock anyone who's doing this part-time, but I really wanted it to be my way of life. So I'm not sure what your situation today is, but I want to ask you one question. Why do you want to be a dom or a sub? Really think about it for a second. I mean, obviously, you're listening to this podcast. You're interested in the dom-sub dynamics and relationships and BDSM lifestyle. But really think about your why for a second. Most likely, there are real reasons, important reasons. Maybe it's relationship goals you want to achieve, kinky things you want to do, a community you want to be a part of. And BDSM is a way to do all of that. So I want to know, what are some of your reasons for wanting to be a dominant or a submissive or a switch? What is your ultimate goal? And if you don't know, that's totally fine, but take some time to really figure it out for yourself, because that's what's going to keep you going when times are hard. And I know it may just seem like, man, isn't this just kink that we're talking about? Like, it's just sex or it's just superficial things, but it's really not. I mean, let's be real. If this was easy and it was just about kink, everyone would just go out and buy a flogger and say that they're living the BDSM lifestyle. It's so much more involved with that. So what is your ultimate goal? I know there's a bigger reason behind your fantasies. I know there's more to all these dreams and desires that you have. It's not just for having a kinky scene just for the sake of it. So maybe for you, it's freedom, being able to live your true, authentic self, letting go of shame, experiencing your ideal relationship. So what is it for you? Like, why? Really, why? Why do you want to practice BDSM and be a dom or a sub? And when you figure it out, please send me a message on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. I'm Dom Sub Living on all of those. But I'm looking forward to hearing what you figured out and what came up for you today. And again, if you need help getting started on your journey, remember I have that free guide you can grab at domsubliving.com/guide. It covers the 9 keys you need to have an amazing BDSM lifestyle. So again, that's at domsubliving.com/guide. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for joining me and being a part of the Dom Sub Living community. And be sure to let me know what your why is. And also grab that free guide. And you can check out all of the details and links in the description or show notes for this episode. But until next time, keep embracing your power and pleasure through Dom Sub living. Are you looking for a dating app for kink and fetish alternative lifestyles? Check out our sponsor, Kink D. That's Kinkd. Kink D is one of the most famous kink, BDSM, and fetish dating apps. They have been featured on HuffPost, Yahoo, Cosmopolitan, and more. Kink D allows you to find and meet local kinksters to fulfill your sexual fantasies. Go to kinkdapp.com to get your free membership. You can also find the app in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. Again, that's kinkdapp.com. Join now and get access to the free bondage, BDSM, kink, and fetish dating community for singles, couples, and swingers. That's kinkdapp.com, spelled Kinkd.